Hi, beautiful people. Welcome once more to our YouTube channel. This is Havila School of
Marriage.
Marriage. For your very own Dr. and Mrs. Crysantus and Linda Nzometia. It's such an honor for us to always have you on our anchor. Thank you for continuing supporting us, standing by us, and of course, recommending Havila School of Marriage. Today, we have our amazing slot Safe Pregnancy, Safe Delivery
Delivery.
by our very own precious, one and only, distinguished, the best OBGYN. Our very own gynecologist, Dr. Nzometia Crysantus. Today he's bringing again something amazing, something that is like a nightmare for some people, and of course going to be like a revelation for others. I remember when we applied this in our case, it was just the results gotten were phenomenal, and I'm so grateful to God for the knowledge that we had at that time. So today we'll be talking about something very important. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, sweetheart, and thank you for all the compliments.
Thank you,
You know, I
babe.
always enjoy that.
Oh, trust you.
When you are saying it's as if I'm flying.
Hi.
Wow, greetings to you all. Thank you for all those who have connected and who are still to connect to this program.
Oh, yes.
As we promised you, we are doing a slot called Safe Pregnancy, Safe Delivery. Because we have noticed that many people, pregnancy to some people is like a nightmare. It is something that is greatly desired, greatly sought for. But when it comes, sometimes symptoms, the challenges, the
Tell you.
uncertainties, and so on make so some people go through it as if they're in one prison. So our joy and our desire is to make it a memorable experience for you,
Mhm.
an enjoyable experience for you, and to accompany you through it so that you enjoy your pregnancy. And so all your questions, all your worries are cleared up. So today we are talking about how to control your baby's weight during pregnancy. I know it is one of the greatest worries and fears of expectant mothers.
Yes.
Sometimes they'll come to me and say, Doctor, my baby is not gaining weight because they just did an ultrasound. Sometimes they get up and do an ultrasound by themselves. In fact, most pregnant women do ultrasound by themselves. Oh, my baby is my abdomen is too fat. I want to go and check my baby's weight. And I tell them, you can keep that money because when you deliver, you will need the money during your delivery. And so you see, today, by the grace of God, we are going to clarify your doubts. We are going to answer all your questions, and you will leave here satisfied. And
Mhm.
so we know you are connected. We know you are with us. Let it not be that we are talking to ourselves.
That's right.
Wow. Okay. So you understand what I'm talking about. I want to first of all talk to you about how we date pregnancy. 6 weeks pregnant. Say, what are you talking about? So one thing I want you to know first is that when we are dating a pregnancy, we date pregnancy using weeks. We don't use months. We don't use months. And I want you to know that a pregnancy month is special, is different from your own month.
No.
When I talk about a calendar month, for example, the month of June is 30 days. And so that's not a pregnancy month. That is for you, but not according to scientists and obstetricians like us. So one thing I want you to know is that a pregnancy week is actually 7 days. When they say that you are this number of weeks pregnant, it means that each week is 7 days. And if you want to take it in months, a month of pregnancy is 28 days. If you take 7 days four times, it's 28. They do an estimate. So one thing you should know is that we use your last menstrual period. We are going to be talking. Expected date of delivery is this day. At the end, when we calculate it, it will give us 40 weeks. It will give us 40 weeks of pregnancy. And that 40 weeks, according to us, is 10 months. It's 10 months. If you want to calculate it in months, if you take 28 days, 28 days, 28 days, up to 40 weeks, it will give you 10. 10. That's why we don't use it. Because if we say that you are 10 months pregnant, you start saying that, hey, my pregnancy is long overdue. Meanwhile, it's not the case because you are considering 31 days or 30 days. Or February that was 28 days. February is the only time that's approximate when we want to date a pregnancy. You see, that is it. So I'm saying this because I'm going to talk to you about the way weight evolves so you understand how the fetal weight evolves during pregnancy because I'm using the weeks. And at the end, so when we say that a woman is 28 weeks pregnant, if you divide 28 by 4, you give you how many? 7, isn't it? So it will give you 7 times, and that's 7 months. Your own 7 months for us will be about 30 weeks or more. You see, so when we say you are 28 weeks pregnant or your expected date of delivery is this day, it means that from 37 weeks you can give birth. We start expecting. So usually when we talk to women about preparing for delivery, they start telling you that no, the date they gave me is not yet has not yet come. And then they wait until that date passes because for us that date should not pass. When that date passes, your pregnancy becomes different. We are going to be doing videos to show you. I want to talk to you now about how weight evolves, during pregnancy. The first thing I want you to know is that the fetal weight gain at the beginning when a woman conceives is just a dot. When you do an ultrasound, it's just a dot. Sometimes you don't even go up to around 6 weeks. Sometimes you may not see anything. That's between from 3 weeks. When a woman conceives, that's one of the very first organs that starts functioning. It has to supply for all the organs to form, all the other organs to form. And the fetus by 29 weeks, most of the organs are formed. And that's when it starts senses start coming, eyes start opening in the woman, so on and so forth. But now the weight gain at the beginning is just few grams, sometimes 7 grams per week. That's how a child gains, sometimes 7 grams per week, sometimes up to 20, up to 59 grams. But I want you to know that by 2022 weeks of pregnancy, the fetus is about 500 grams. 500 in some countries, 24 weeks is already considered as a human being. But from us, it goes up to 28 weeks because of our the availability of materials. If at all a woman delivers at that time, do we have what it takes? Nutritions who are doing a great job. Wow. So what I want you to really understand is that from 28 weeks, I'm giving you just some landmarks. I said 22 weeks, you have 500 grams. From 28 weeks, the fetus has gained about 1 kilogram or 1,000 grams. We use mostly grams when we are calculating the weight of the fetus in the womb. Your baby, we use your baby so that you really understand. But for us, it's fetus from 8 weeks of pregnancy. It becomes a fetus that's growing in the womb. By 28 weeks, your fetus has gained 1,000 grams. It's in the vicinity of one. Your baby is growing and growing well. You understand? Now, I'll take you to the next landmarks 1,500 to 1,700 grams. And by 34 weeks, we are expected to have about 2,000 grams or 2 kilograms, if you want to say like that. 2,000 to 2,100. And then by weight evolves up of a growing fetus in the womb. I'm saying so because there are also some conditions that can cause the fetus not to gain enough weight, and that is a problem. That is a problem and not an advantage. We are going to be talking about that, but today I'm talking to you mostly about how to control the weight. How to control the weight. That said, I don't know if anybody has any question. I'm hardly seeing comments. I'm just seeing a comment from Doris Bell, from Bertine. Thank you for writing. You just said you are here. Do you have any question up to what I've said up to this moment? So I could answer before I go on to the next point. Talking about the next thing. And so one thing I want you to know is that until you get to third trimester, pregnancy is also divided into trimesters. First trimester, second trimester, and third trimester. Third trimester is the woman gives birth, and that's a peculiar period. And that's the period during which the weight gain really starts. The weight gain really starts. That's the moment. That is the moment, especially from 31 weeks, weight gain becomes rapid. Usually, by that time, a fetus that was gaining about 59 grams per week sometimes 100 grams per week, starts gaining between 150 to 250 grams per week. Sometimes it could even go up to 300 grams per week in some cases, but usually it's between 150 to 250 and increases with time. By 35 weeks, it's going up to about 250 per week, 230, 250 per week. That's how it is. So every week, the fetus is gaining weight. So sometimes when you see us, we do an ultrasound at 36 weeks and we start telling you that if you are to deliver by 38 weeks or 40 weeks, this is how the weight might be, because we have extrapolated and we say, okay, if your baby is going to gain this weight per week, by this time this is how the weight would have been, and that's why that your baby will probably be a big baby or a small baby. Another thing I want us to know is that when a woman is pregnant, you have two sexes. It could be a male or a
Female.
female. It could be a male or a
Female.
female. And usually male babies have more weight because they have heavy bones. They have more weight in the womb than females, because that's how it is. I've still not seen any. Why is the growth accelerated during this time? What's the reason for it? Usually because the growth is accelerated during that time because by that time most of the organs of the fetus are formed. Because at the beginning, up to 8 weeks, you have what we call the embryonic state where all the organs are still positioning themselves, and then from there the limbs start forming, the nails start forming, the brain and everything starts forming up to around 29 weeks. Up to around 29 weeks. And when it gets to that point, that is when, after all those organs are formed, the weight now starts adding. That's when weight gain really starts. It's usually because of that. There is no major explanation for that apart from this. Is there still any question before I move on? Thank you for your question, Pearl. I'm seeing mostly two of you commenting. Most people like to watch from the background to ask questions. Let them ask questions before I move. Okay, if there's still no question, we are going to now continue to see how babies come. Big babies come, and some people deliver their babies as small. I already told you there are some pathologies like what we call intrauterine restriction or small for weight babies. Babies that are born actually at term from 37 weeks and the weight is small. The weight is smaller than 2.5 grams. It could be due to a problem. It could be due to a problem. But controlling weight gain, as I'm saying, is making you to know that when you control the baby's weight will never be small to the point that they say that this baby had a problem. I want to establish this first. If you deliver your baby at term, your baby will never go below 2.5 kilograms. If your baby if your baby did not have any other problem, if you control it. So controlling weight is actually advantageous for you. I'm going to show you the advantages both for the baby and for you So usually one thing that happens during pregnancy is that when mothers are pregnant, the first trimester of pregnancy is usually the time when they have a lot of symptoms. They have a lot of symptoms. And so they hardly eat. Sometimes they eat and vomit, they lose weight. They lose weight. And then by the second trimester, they start the symptoms subside, because by that time I usually tell women, when you feel those symptoms, now is your baby saying, Mommy, I'm here,
It's sign
Mommy,
of
I'm
life.
here, I'm alive. So women are saying this pregnancy is disturbing me too much. It's your baby saying hello, Mommy. Though
When they
sometimes
wait to say
it
hello.
will be so exaggerated, just like the baby kicking, and some are kicking so fast, so others are calm until their mothers are going and do ultrasound to say, is my baby really fine? Yeah, I'm going to talk about gestational diabetes. I'm going to talk about that as also one of the things that causes rapid weight gain. I spoke about what could cause the baby not to have enough weight. I just mentioned them because I want to talk about them as a topic so you really understand. So you really understand all the intricacies about it. But I'm going to mention that anyway. So I was saying that the weight during the pregnancy, when the pregnancy starts, weight gain at the beginning, the woman does not really eat. And so later on, second trimester, when the symptoms subside, the moment she starts feeling her baby, symptoms are also subsiding. So the baby is now saying that, mommy, I'm around. I'm around by the kicks that she's receiving. And by that time, symptoms will have subsided. All what she didn't eat, all the weight she lost, she will eat. So during that time, it's a mother
Regain
that's really
energy.
gaining weight. It's a mother that's really gaining weight during that time. But now, when the fetal development is almost complete and organs have all formed, and now the baby has to start gaining weight to grow now, that is when weight gain really occurs. And that's the time that what you eat will really also influence your baby. Will really also influence your baby in the womb, because many women wait until when they come at 36 weeks, and then you do an ultrasound, you tell them that your baby is big, and this is showing that by the time you put to bed, this baby will, like, you start saying, no, from now on I'm going to control it, I'm going to discipline. And I tell them that this time is difficult, though it might help, but it may not really help. So one thing by my special discovery, of course, my wife is always like
The guinea
my
pig.
cobaye.
We tested everything
before
on me.
before we got married, when we just got married, and before I got into specialization, that was one I wanted to say. Before I started specialization, this is what happened. We had our first baby. And you know, a man is always very excited when the wife is pregnant for the first time. So what did I do?
Um,
Of course, first trimester was as usual. So third trimester, I was happy that my wife is pregnant. And so I was buying all those snacks, all those nice things, taking her to all those nice places. And then that's how she was eating.
pumping.
And before we knew it, she was in labor for 3 days. Latent phase of labor. Latent phase is when labor is just starting. When labor is just starting. And that's how the baby was very big, and the baby couldn't turn properly. And that's how I ended up in CS. So now when we got into specialization, I said, okay, I'm learning now and I'm reading. We are going to apply what I'm learning. And we applied it. And actually the baby came out and she delivered after a C-section. The weight, and then she got to 36 weeks. I said, this weight is looking now small, you can eat small. For 2 weeks the baby
Eh,
instead, so this 150 to 250 I told you, that's where we work to see that instead of getting 250, the baby can be getting 150 or 200, not 250 or 300 as it happens for some. So our baby came out at that time. I think the first was 3.9, the second was 3.5, and then we got to the third. We said, okay, now we are going to be very disciplined from start to the end. And that's how she delivered a little after 40 weeks. The baby was 2.8 kilograms. 2.8 kilograms. And this is the one that came out without any laceration, any no tear. The second one brought laceration, the first one was CS. So we now realize that weight gain during pregnancy has a great is a great determinant, fetal weight gain, to the outcome of the pregnancy. It's a great determinant to the outcome of the pregnancy. So as to that, maybe you share experience a bit.
and sometimes it's not just about eating much, but about what you eat.
Awesome.
You can be
Awesome.
eating in limited quantities, but just eating the wrong things.
Yes.
So there are particular things that you should no go zone, red zone. When you get a third trimester, you need
Yes.
to start cutting them totally out of your meals. And now you're really hungry, you maximize for some other things. I think we're going to
Yes.
that's what
And
we're going
remember, when we talk about third trimester, we say it's from 28 weeks.
28 weeks.
So usually we do fetal weight control from 28 weeks. That's what I do in my practice. And after doing that with her, I did that with several of my patients.
Mm.
Those who obeyed, most of them when they deliver, the baby never goes beyond 3.5 kilograms. And most of them deliver their babies, except those that have contraindications to deliver vaginally. Most of them deliver their babies and they have little or no complications. Little or no complications. I've done that since that time. It was 2018 that I started applying this. I've applied this with several pregnant women and it has worked. That's why we can sell it out. That's why we can talk about it. That's why we can talk about it. And it is our experience.
Oh, yes.
So the first no-go zone, most of the things you should not do in pregnancy, those are the things you want to do. The things you shouldn't do, the things you want to do. The things you should do are the
Things I
ones
want
you
to do.
don't want to do. One of them we are going to come up with it very soon. It's a strange topic. When we mention it to women, they are like, they are shy. But we are going to come to it.
Yep.
First, snacks. Snacks. As with that, what do you say about snacks?
No go zone for snacks on 28 weeks, as we said. That's the
Mm.
beginning of third trimester. When we talk about snacks, what do we mean? Ice cream, yogurt, milk, all those fattening
All those
courses that
fattening
you
causes.
you know about. You avoid them. And what we usually recommend, because the trap of third trimester is that you'll be hungry.
Yes.
But that's when you don't still have to eat. The other times you're not really hungry, so it doesn't really matter. But from third trimester, the baby's demands, nutritional demands increases on the mother, and now there's a high demand for food, and because of that, that is requiring you to pump yourself up so that the baby can also eat. It's not just because you're hungry that you just take everything and you eat to satiety. You say, okay,
Mm.
now it's fine. No,
Yes. So,
you eat in controlled portions. What really encourage that during those periods, maximize a lot of fruits and vegetables and drink a lot of water. If your abdomen is full of water, there'll be no space for you to take a lot of food. And so when
yes.
you're taking food now, they are controlled portions. And in that case, you're taking small at a time, and if possible, at, give a longer interval for each meal. The longer the interval, the better. Not that you should starve yourself to to
This is not
better go.
fasting.
No, no, no.
You eat out of necessity.
Voila.
You don't eat out of desire. So we tell
Mm.
women eat normal food, eat regularly. Bread, bread, snacks, snacks. Watch out. What you need extra to sustain your baby a day is just about 300 calories.
That's into our
Sometimes
meals.
extra calories that we
Give.
take apart from normal calories requirements per day is sometimes up to 1,000 or even more.
Yeah.
It's
It's
going to make
certainly.
you very fat. It's going to make the baby also big, and we are going to also show you the of your own weight gain. There is a required weight gain for the mother. We are going to talk about that in